Hi there, my name is Monica Fertina, and I'm a school outreach specialist with Mishawaka-Penn-Harris Public Library. I am so excited today to talk to you about several books that I think you might be interested in reading. So let's get started. Hi there, I'm Monica Fertina, a school outreach specialist at Mishawaka-Penn-Harris Public Library. I am really excited to share with you another round of book talks. All of these books are available from the Mishawaka Public Library, and I'm hoping that there's something in here that you find fun and appealing and that you'll want to read. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, all of the books that I'm going to talk about today are available at the public library. I hope there's something in here that you enjoy. If you do find a title that you like, you can always go to our website, www.mphpl.org. On this website, you can see where the book lives on our shelves and also find other really great titles. You can also check out our events page. There are fun events happening at the public library all year round. They're free, they're for all ages, and I think you might find something you'll enjoy. We have events that happen in person and also online, so all kinds of really great options for you. So again, that's at our website, mphpl.org. Okay, let's talk about some books. The first is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown, and here is a video. So The Wild Robot, as you saw in that video, is about a robot named Roz who mistakenly ends up on this island full of animals and different creatures, but no humans. So Roz at first feels very out of place. After all, how often do you see a robot out in the wild? But as she starts to spend time with the animals, she learns how they speak, she learns their language, and she becomes a part of their community. One day, a horrible accident happens and Roz finds herself with a baby gosling, a baby goose, who she adopts as her own and raises him to be her own child. So she names him Bright Bill and she raises him with the rest of the animals. And that really helps her become a part of the group of animals that live on the island. So as the story goes, she helps out her animal friends and really takes care of the island until one day other robots show up to the island and they are looking to bring Roz back to her creator, back to the factory where she was built. And so Roz has to make some really big, scary choices about how to help her family the best way she can and also be true to herself. So that is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This is a really unique story. If you're looking for an adventure kind of story with really different characters, this is a fantastic choice for you. So that is The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. So I don't know if any of you have ever been a part of 4-H or have spent time on a farm. I myself have. This book, Moo, by Sharon Creech, may be a great one for you if you have spent any time with animals. We meet Rena and her younger brother Luke, and they are moving from a big city to a very small farm town in Maine. They are expecting lobsters and different things like one would expect when they go to Maine, but instead they meet a lot of interesting neighbors who happen to live on farms. One of their neighbors is Mrs. Falala, and she has several different animals on her farm, and they all have very unique names. One in particular is a cow named Zora. Zora is one feisty cow. Rena and her brother try to help Mrs. Falala on her farm by feeding the animals and kind of taking care of different things around the farm. And somehow, Rena is convinced to take care of Zora, the very feisty cow, and actually show her at the fair. Rena and Zora don't get along at first, and Zora does everything she possibly can to make this a very, very challenging task. But eventually, Rena and Zora find a happy middle ground and become friends. So if you are looking for a really funny story, but also has some sweetness to it, Moo by Sharon Creech is a really great one, especially if you love animals. If you're an animal lover, you should check out this one and also a lot of other books by Sharon Creech, as she has written a lot of really great ones. All right, our next title is How to Train Your Dragon, and you may have watched the movie and all of its sequels, but we're gonna watch a video for the first movie to give you an idea of what it's about.
Welcome to Dragon Training. Today you will learn to fight dragons.
Pain. Love it.
Let's get started.
You should come by sometime to work out. You look like you work out. I guess it's just you and me, huh?
Nope, just you.
Huh?
Focus, Hiccup.
Can I transfer to the class with the cool Vikings? Whoa. Has anyone ever tried to train a dragon?
No one's ever lived to tell the tale.
It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Let's see if this works. We're gonna take this nice and slow. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Whoa! Yeah!
Get down!
It's okay. You just scared him.
I scared him?
Everything we know about them is wrong. Let me show you.
Either we finish them, or they'll finish us.
Fire!
We don't have to fight them. Whoa, cool. Go, baby!
No matter how this ends, it ends today.
What are you gonna do?
Something crazy. I'm in.
Me too. Sign me up.
I love this plan.
Go.
DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon.
It's like the size of my... Oh, get it off!
So How to Train Your Dragon, first of all, is a really fun movie, and I think there's even a TV show about this series. But you may not have known that it started out as a book series, and there are several books here. So if you enjoy How to Train Your Dragon, you should totally check out this book. So just to remind you, in case you're not familiar with the movie, we meet Hiccup. He is a young guy who really loves studying and kind of being quiet in the background. But he is the son of the leader of the Hairy Hooligans Viking tribe. So they are all Vikings and they use dragons to fight in their battles. But they're pretty harsh with dragons to start with. So every year, the younger Vikings have to go pick out a dragon and try to train it or try to get it to behave in order for them to use it. When Hiccup goes, he meets a small very stubborn dragon named Toothless, who happens to have a very fierce side to him. But when Hiccup meets Toothless, he realizes that maybe trying to be mean to Toothless is not the best way to go. And so he realizes that if he can be gentle and bond with the dragon, that maybe Toothless will do more of what they need together as a team. And so Hiccup takes this philosophy back to the rest of the Vikings and eventually convinces a group to train their dragons kindly and see what happens. So their training is put to the test when the tribe, the hairy hooligans, are stuck at a mountain with a very fierce fire-breathing dragon. And so they have to use their dragon friends to help them save the day. So if you've seen the movie, you know already that these are really funny stories. There's a lot of action and adventure, so they're not boring. You're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to read while you go through this series. So the first book is just called How to Train Your Dragon, and that is by Cressida Cowell. Oh, speaking of funny stories, we next have Hamstersaurus Rex by Tom O'Donnell. This is hilarious. So we have a middle school classroom, I believe they're in 6th grade, and they get a new pet. They weren't expecting a new pet, but their new class pet is a hamster who just shows up in their class one day. Sam has been paying attention to the hamster, and he really loves the hamster. He loves this pet, and because it makes some weird growling sounds, everyone in the class names it Hamstersaurus Rex. So Sam has bonded with Hamstersaurus Rex, and they become good friends. One day, however, Hamstersaurus Rex decides to drink a bodybuilding supplement powder. So this is normally what bodybuilders use to get really big and muscly and strong. And the hamster accidentally drinks it and ends up growing fangs and a lizard tail and basically looks like a tiny Tyrannosaurus Rex. But very, very strong. So Hamstersaurus Rex is an extremely strong, powerful, tiny hamster. And because he is friends with Sam, he tries to protect Sam a lot. And that includes protecting him from the school bully. His name is Beefer Vanderkoff. And so there are a lot of really funny situations that happen. A lot of funny things happen as the hamster is trying to protect Sam and Sam is trying to protect the hamster. And just a lot of really fun stuff happens. So that is Hamstersaurus Rex by Tom O'Donnell. This is also a series, so there are at least 2 or 3 books in this series. Definitely worth checking out. So our next book is The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. And let's watch a video so you can get an idea of what this book is about. So if you enjoy magic, if maybe you are learning to be a magician, or maybe you've watched a lot of different videos of magicians, there are some really amazing tricks out there. The Magic Misfits may be a great title for you. So this is written by Neil Patrick Harris, and he is actually a pretty famous actor, but he's also known for being a magician. So he knows what he's talking about. The Magic Misfits is about Carter, and he grew up with his uncle who knows a lot of magic tricks in order to steal from people on the streets. So he's using magic for bad and not necessarily for good things. But Carter was raised by this uncle, and so he has learned a lot of different magic tricks and a lot of different sleight of hand tricks. So when he sees people on the streets, he can kind of amaze them with his magic. So one day his uncle robs an older lady. He takes her diamond necklace, and Carter feels like maybe this is too far. So he steals the necklace back and returns it to this lady, and then he runs away. He runs to a small town, And when he gets there, he sees this very big carnival happening. And within the carnival, there's a gang of thieves that are working at the carnival, and they are led by someone named B.B. Bosso. And they also use magic and deception to steal from people. And so Carter sees this happening, and he really wants to do something about it. He wants to be good. And so he ends up meeting a few other people his age, a few other kids who actually know how to do magic. They all have a special skill within magic. Some can escape from lots of locks and ropes and things. They're escape artists. As you saw in that video, another can make things levitate, so they can make things float in the air. So they have all of these different skills, and they start kind of calling themselves the Magic Misfits. And so Carter and this gang of other magicians, they get together and they decide that they're going to take down B.B. Bosso and kind of stop him at his own game. And so that involves using a lot of their magic tricks in order to stop the bad guy. So something kind of cool about this book is that in addition to a really awesome story about them taking care of bad guys, there's also parts where they explain how to do certain magic tricks. So if you are interested in learning some tricks, you could read this book and pick up those skills. So I was kind of looking around, and I thought maybe I would show you a lesson that I found. So this is a magic trick that you can do right now if you have the supplies. So let's watch this. And there's no sound, so don't be surprised if it's kind of quiet. What? That's amazing. You can turn 5 coins into 10 and trick all of your audience. So that's just a really fun magic trick. And if you read the Magic Misfits, you can see many more tricks and learn those. Okay, so the final book that I have for you today is an adorable story. I couldn't help myself. I love this story. If you love animals, especially horses, you need to read this book. It's a very fast read. This is called A Friend for Einstein, the Smallest Stallion. So this is a true story, and it was written by Charlie Contrell and Dr. Rachel Wagner. So Einstein is a small, teeny, miniature pony who was born, and Einstein, let's see here. So he weighed less than a cat when he was born. And when you stood him up when he was born, he was no taller than a cereal box. So if you can picture that, he is very tiny. So in this picture, this is a picture of Einstein with a regular quarter-size horse. So you can see Einstein is so tiny. So in the book A Friend for Einstein, Einstein is the only miniature horse of his kind. And so on the farm that he lives in, though he's really well loved, he doesn't really have a good friend that he gets to play with. And so throughout the book, you see that he tried becoming friends with a rabbit and a turtle and some of the other horses, but it doesn't really go so well for him. Until finally one day, he meets a dog named Lily who lives on the farm. For some reason, Lily and Einstein become the best of friends, and they love playing together and doing all sorts of things on the farm. So if you want just a really sweet story with lots of cute pictures of adorable animals, A Friend for Einstein is a really good one for you. When I was looking up some more information about Einstein too, I discovered that he just turned 10 in 2020. So Einstein is now 10 years old, which is pretty awesome. So that is A Friend for Einstein. So there you go. Those are all of the stories that I brought with me today. I hope there is something in here that you really like. We have the wild robot, about the robot named Roz who lives on the island. We have Moo, about the very feisty cow. We have Hamstersaurus Rex, about the hamster that turns into a tiny little dinosaur and is very, very strong and gets into hijinks. We have the Magic Misfits with a crew of really talented magicians who are trying to take down some bad guys. We have How to Train Your Dragon, where we learn that Hiccup, the Viking, wants to try a different way to train dragons, and he meets Toothless the dragon. And then finally, we have A Friend for Einstein, the miniature horse who finds a friend in Lily the dog. So I hope there's something in here that you like. Please visit the library, visit our website, and have a great day.